We have an interesting situation that may unfold at the upcoming Republican convention. Reuters reports here, the new Black Panther Party will carry firearms for self-defense during demonstrations in Cleveland ahead of next week's Republican convention, if allowed under Ohio law. Several other groups, including some supporters of Donald Trump, have said they will carry weapons in Cleveland, leading to concerns about rival groups being armed in close proximity. Quote, if it is an open state to carry, we will exercise our Second Amendment rights because there are other groups threatening to be there that are threatening to do harm to us, the chairman of the new Black Panther Party said. Okay, so I have many thoughts on this. First of all, I know for sure that all Republicans who love to talk about the Second Amendment and about how this is a right from God and the government can't take it away, they're all going to come out and say, well, let's be consistent here and let's be principled here. When I say more guns equals more peace and everybody has a right to be armed, I mean it. Therefore, new Black Panthers, please, we welcome you, and we'd love it if every single one of you was armed. I know Republicans are going to take that position because they're not hypocrites. Am I right? So you guys, all of you guys, I'm sure you're writing articles about it. I'm sure you're doing segments about it. I'm sure you're saying on Fox News, wall-to-wall, Hannity, O'Reilly, all of them are saying, ha, totally, we'd love it if the new Black Panthers were there. But if they're there, I hope they're armed. Because more guns equals more peace, and they have Second Amendment rights too. Okay? Yeah, let's do that. So is that the position they're going to take? Please. Hilarious. As if they're actually principled and they actually, believe that, no, seriously, everybody guns, sure, right. No, they mean it except when it comes to, new Black Panther Party, black people, Muslims. There's a bunch of groups that they're like, not so sure about this gun thing. But then my second point on this is, all comments about right-wing hypocrisy aside, no, please, none of you should come armed. Stop. Like, this is not good. Understand, guys, it's not true that more guns equals more peace. So we've spoken about it before, but the right-wing theory on this, which, by the way, back in the day was something I actually used to believe. The right-wing theory was there are more good people in the world than bad people in the world. Seems logical, right? Fairly rational thing to say. So therefore, if everybody has guns, the good people with guns outnumber the bad people with guns, and that the good people keep the bad people in check because there's so many more of them. So that's their theory. Again, that sounds plausible. There's nothing crazy about that at face value. The problem is when you actually study it and when you actually look at the details. So we've spoken about it before, a Harvard meta-analysis that looked at all the credible gun studies over an extended period of time, and they found that where there are more guns, there is more homicide. So more guns does not equal more peace. In fact, where there are more guns, you are more likely to die as a result of a gun. Whether it's an accident, whether it's a homicide, whether it's a suicide, there are 32,000 gun deaths in America every year, over 11,000 homicides. Those are simply not comparable numbers to other modern nations. Why? Other modern nations do stricter, more efficient gun reform. We have the laxest gun laws and the most gun deaths. If more guns equaled more peace, the United States would already be the most peaceful modern nation. We are not. We are one of the least peaceful. We have more gun deaths than the rest of them. So, what that shows you is it's not true that more guns equals more peace. And when I read a story like this about new Black Panther is going to show up armed, rabid Trump supporters are going to show up armed, I see potential disaster. So please, none of you bring the weapons. None of you bring it. Please don't bring it. Please don't bring it. I want all of you to come and have your voices heard, even those I disagree with. Of course, you have First Amendment rights, free protest, free expression, free speech. So yes, you should all come. You should all have your voices heard. You can be rambunctious if you want to, because again, you have a right to protest if you so choose. But when you do with weapons, yes, you are heightening the tensions and making it so that it's more likely there is going to be some sort of an event. I don't trust the level-headedness of the new Black Panther Party and rabid Trump supporters. And I don't think it infringes on your Second Amendment rights to say you can't bring a gun to a convention and you can't open carry just outside of it. No, that seems... If you think that violates Second Amendment rights, wow, is all I have to say. Wow. And you're probably in the same crowd that says, you have a right to a Scud missile and chemical weapons and biological weapons and RPGs and tanks and all this shit. You don't. You don't. So, although I do sense a heaping dose of right-wing hypocrisy, because are they going to come out and argue for the new Black Panthers to have the right to be armed in this situation? No. Let's put aside the hypocrisy point and let's just all get behind the idea that this is not a good idea. You guys should not bring guns. More guns does not equal more peace. And I think people get that when they look at this situation. Do you really think it's going to be more peaceful if the new Black Panthers are armed and rabid Trump supporters are armed in the same place at the same time? You know the answer to that.